Hello, hello, hello. All right. I'm starting later than I planned, but that's because I like to sleep in, lol. But that's okay, because we're going to play for at least 2.5 hours. Maybe we'll get to the last chapter. But it's really weird. This one's been all over the place because we've had a chapter that lasts only an hour. We also had a chapter that lasts 2.5 hours, and I just don't. There's no consistency. Usually, they average about an hour and a half. So this one's kind of all over the place. So there's a chance we'll finish it. There's also a chance there might be a third stream. But if there is a third stream, it'll be tonight when I get back from comic book day. Because I want to start a new game next week. So that's my hope. Those are my dreams. And then this weekend, let me give myself a break. I'm going to post my schedule for the Choose Wisely Festival, which they're slowly starting to put out information about it as we speak. I think I'm allowed officially to talk about everyone who's reached out to me to try their games. A lot of it is demos, which I'm excited about. I'm planning a stream that is solo demos only, as well as some normal streams, because a couple of the developers have completed their games, and a couple of them are like, you can play the whole game, and some are like, you can play this much, and I'm making sure I have my list out right. I'm also probably going to have a poll, because some of them are like, the game's an hour, the game's 1 to 2 hours, the game's this, so do I want to finish the demos that I play, or do I want to stop at a certain time and have a very set schedule? So that's what I'm going to have a poll for as well. So far I have 3 streams officially planned that are going to be a few hours each. And then I might have a couple streams that are like an hour to 2 hours, just so I can participate throughout the week, because I do work that week. Unfortunately, it was not a weekend I'm off. So I'm going to try my bestest. I might have some hopes and dreams. So I'll start working on that schedule this week, and I should have it up Friday or Saturday on Discord. I'm going to post it on Insta. I'm going to also share it with all the developers I've reached out to and spoke with, so that they know. So that if they want to promote, they can promote it too. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really curious how some of them are going to play out, because some of them are developers who are solo developers. They're the only ones making the game. They're doing all of it by themselves. I'm really interested in playing those ones. I think I have 2 or 3 of those on my list as it stands. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love choose your own adventure games. It's been my bread and butter since I started streaming, so I'm really looking forward to being part of this. So yeah, that's happening soon. If I sit down and actually look at the schedule, that is. All right, so we're back. This is the true ending route, question mark, with like so much happening. We're having all the guys get like a solo moment with her. And I realized as I was making my thumbnail last night that we didn't have a CG. I think I realized it during the stream, but I like started screenshotting anything. I was like, all right, I will put together. So when you see the thumbnail on YouTube, remember I made that out of magic. A few days after the meeting at the church, bum bum bum, it was dark outside, but I couldn't seem to get myself to sleep naturally. The casino tomorrow. I felt an uneasy restlessness after hearing when they were planning to take action. Here, I thought I could take a drink of my drink casually in between conversations, but she's talking to herself. Oh my gosh, is this pineapple? Hawaiian shaved ice. Sometimes I just grab them because they look cute. I don't read them. I tried to think about other things, but it kept returning to my mind. Everyone, please be safe. I knelt on the floor and quietly offered my prayers until the morning sun rose. This was unexpected. Nicola came to visit the church. At first, I thought he came to replace Orlok as guard just like before, but Nicola asked to speak with me in private. Ooh, you're gonna date Nicola now. Just see. My phone was buzzing like I got a message, sorry. I hesitantly led him to my room. Oh, don't take him to your room. Stop letting boys in your bedroom. What is this? What is this about, Nicola?
僕たちは大きな一手を打つ必要がある。その相談だよ。
I came to discuss with you the plans that would turn the tides in our favor. A plan? Do you mean how we're going to attack the casino? You know, rip it apart? Nicholas slowly shook his head. Oh, he's gonna kidnap me.
ただ首謀者を抑えただけじゃ、この町を、世界を巻き込む事件の根を完全に潰すことはできないよ。
Capturing the perpetrator isn't enough to end the conflict that's rampant in this town, much less the world. I see what you mean. What about what would we gain from attacking the casino? Would that alone put an end to everything? If we detain the directory, will that stop the counterfeiting? Will it return everything to normal
なら
again?
ないよ。でも少なくともこれ以上悪くなることはない。頭が潰れれば向こうの動きだって鈍る。
Of course not, but it would at least prevent things from getting worse. It would also slow their
そ
movement.
の間に偽札を流している連中を一網打尽にすることは不可能じゃないかもね。
We can then strike everyone down involved with the counterfeiting. But do you think that's the best bet, Nicola? Is that what... Is that way... Nope, that's what it says. I read it twice. Is that way you wanted to discuss your plans with me? Is that why? Why? Oh my god. Did I mention I have dyslexia before? I read it 3 times, and I read it wrong each time. Is that why you want to discuss your plan with me? Nicholas smiled and nodded.
僕たちは何の証拠も持っていないからね。備えが足りない。
I had 3 incidents this weekend, and it had to do with 6 and 9. Like, reading it upside down, I was like, oh, 9. And then I'm like, oh no, that's a 6. And then there was something, I forgot what the order was, but it was like there was a 6 and there was a 9, and I said 9 3 times when I meant 6. Just to remember, it's a condition. I can't stop it. We don't have the solid proof we need to make our move. Oh. Come to think of it, what we thought was true was simply speculation. Speculation? Not evidence. Speculatory. So.
僕たちマフィアが不当に政府の役人へ暴力を振るったことにされてしまうと困るからね。
We don't want to be seen as thugs who attack a government-backed establishment. Wait, I recall seeing the casino using counterfeit bills. We could use that as...
そんなもの、いざとなればどうとでも処分できるようにしてあるはずだよ。
They can get rid of any and all of their counterfeit currency without much effort. Nicola kept his composure and calmly looked at me. So what's the plan of yours again?
手を貸してくれる？鍵の乙女として、あるいは一人の人間として。
I need your help as the key maiden as well as you yourself. Stream! Ninja, you're on a 20-month streak! How crazy! Hi! I need your help as the key maiden and as yourself.
君はこの事件を解決するために危険に身をさらす覚悟はある？
Are you willing to put yourself in danger to bring an end to everything happening? I'm willing to put myself in danger for less than that.
それとも、本音は
Best streamer
全てから
ever.
解
You're
放
so
されたい。
funny. Do you wish to be set free? Set free? Am I in a tower?
重荷を背負わず、ただの一般人として、こんな薄暗い世界からは遠ざかる。
Would you like to unburden yourself and live life like every other normal person? To be clear, up until like a week ago, she was fine. I know they've been making this like week later, so it's been like months, but like, that wasn't a question for me. My mind was set ever since I decided to help them out. Please let me help, Nicola. I'm such a dramatic queen.
ありがとう。その言葉を信じるよ。君がいなきゃこの作戦は成立しないからね。
Thank you. I'll take your word for it because this strategy won't work without you. Nicola, how are you planning to obtain this proof we need?
今は言えない。でも、君のことは絶対に守るって約束する。
I can't tell you now, but I promise I'll protect you no matter what. Oh, well,
だからど
that's
うか、
fine.
僕のことを信じてほしい。
So will you please trust me? I can't trust you. You are a murderer. I've watched you kill people. You've killed my character on 2, maybe 3 occasions. But sure. Yes, I will. I trust you, my guy.
二人で出かける？どうして？
I agree, Orlok. Why indeed? You're going out together? Why? Orlok tilted his head and frowned, hearing that I was stepping out with
あなたが
Nicola.
教会を出るなら俺も行く。 それが護衛である俺の役割。
If you're going, I'll go too. This is my duty as your
もちろ
guard.
んニコラは
Also,
普
I'm
通の
making
人間
nothing
よ
but
り
bad
銃の扱いに長
decisions.
けてるし、強いといえば強いと思う。
I know Nicola is adept at the use of firearms and that he's
必要
strong.
があれば殺しをためらわない。そういう人なのは知ってる。
I also know that he will resort to violence or worse to get things done.
だけど俺がついていった方が安全。それは絶対。何か間違ってる？
But it's safer if I can be with you. That is a fact, or am I wrong? I think Orlok is right too, but I glanced towards Nicola. He let out a
困っ
sigh.
たな。はっきり言わないと伝わらない。もう少し空気を読んでほしいんだけど。
Oh, he's gonna pretend they're dating again because he's a bastard. I don't know what the word is. Forgot to mention I have a PC now. Whoa, is it a good one? Is it a good PC? Because anyone could have a PC. I mean, I would imagine you would get a good one, but... Unbelievable. Do I need to say everything? I thought you would read between the lines. He's like, we're going on a date.
はっきり言ってほしい。
It can run Roblox. Hot dog. That's great. Be careful on Roblox, though. People try to get your passwords and they steal your bank account numbers on there, so, you know, be mindful. I can't tell me clearly.
彼女とデートしたい。だからオルロック、君はしばらく外してくれない？
I want to go on a date with her, so do you mind, Orlok? You making him
相引
blush.
きについてくるなんて、そんな野暮な真似はしないでほしいな。
I do hope that you're not going to insist on tagging along while we do things.
こんな状況でデートなんて。ニコラ、何を考え。
What? Dating in a situation like this? Nicola, what are you thinking?
わからないかな。二人で愛を語らうには、この教会は狭すぎる。ねえ、リリー。
The church is too small to contain our love. Isn't that right, Lily? What in the world? But I knew what I had to do. I needed to play along with him. Yes, that's right. I tried my best to smile and nod awkwardly.
そういうことなら。
Well, if that's the case. Orlok sounded out of breath and Nicola gave a gentle smile.
安心して。彼女のことは死んでも守るから。
Don't worry, I promise I'll protect her. Yoon got Borderlands and needs someone to play Borderlands with, by the way. So, you know, that's something that runs on a PC. Sometimes. Don't worry, I promise I'll protect her. His tone was clear and bold, and I could tell he meant that with his life. I can run Borderlands perfect. It'll give her a reason to play the game that she got.
ニコラがそこまで言うなら。
I believe you, Nicola. She got it as a birthday gift, and I'm like, I don't want to pay $60 right now to buy Borderlands. But you can play with your friends on the internet. I believe you, Nicola. Orlok sighed in disbelief. Naturally, as one does. Things aren't working for me recently. I was starting to doubt everything around me. This town, the Berlone Mafia, what purpose the Berlone police had. I lived life thinking everything was just how it was since I was a kid. I couldn't seem to get my mind settled since I met him on my way back from the church.
この町は異常だ。起きないはずの事件が起き、その真実はマフィアに握りつぶされる。
Things that shouldn't happen in this town do, and the mafia hides the
痛みを
truth.
背負わされるのはいつも婿の民だ。あなたも救えなかった命があるのでは？
I'm pretty sure I know said his name's Henri. And I could totally be off base, but I think he is the brother, I can't remember his name. Riton? I think this is Riton. Because he looks to be a little bit older. For a Otome game with a 17-year-old protagonist, he looks to be a little bit older. And he's got beautiful blonde hair, like someone we know. And they're not related by blood, so it's fine for her to date him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine. It's just, you know, I feel like he fits the profile more. But I don't know. It's always the innocent who bear the brunt of it. There are lives even you couldn't save, right?
マルコ、どうかしたんですか？さっきから手が止まっているようですが。
Marco, is something wrong? You've been still for some
あ
time.
あ、ロッピー、どうした？何かあったか？
Robbie, what's the matter?
急ぎの書類です。すみませんが、この場でサインをお願いします。
It's urgent. I'm sorry, but I need you to
あ
sign
あ、
these.
今書く。ちょ
Signing.
っと待ってくれ。
Sure, just a sec.
よし。待たせて悪かったな。
Sorry to keep you waiting. Roberto raised his brow as he took the signed papers from my
近
hand.
頃、様子がおかしいですよ、マル
You're
コ。
really acting strange,
そう
Marco.
か？そんなことねえと思うが。
Really, I don't think I
この
was.
間も、おかしなことを言っていました。
You said something strange last time, too.
俺はこの町をけど。
まだあのことを考えているんですか？
Is that still on your mind?
沈黙は肯定と受け取ります。
I'll take your silence as a yes.
まったく。覚えていないんですか、マルコ。
Marco, don't you
この町に
remember?
来た俺に散々言って聞かせたくせに。
You're the one who's been telling me since I
この
got
町に
here.
はこの町のやり方がある。あなたが今そんなことを思い悩んでも仕方がないのでは？
You say this town's unique and does things its own way. Why would worry about it now?
そりゃ分かってるんだがよ。いや、分かってねえから考えちまうんだな。
I know that, but no. I don't know, which is why I'm like this. Ooh, Roberto's right. I have been telling him the whole time how this town's different. Secret route? Technically, it's considered final route, so I don't know if it's secret or not. But we're on it officially. We're on chapter 8, so we have like one more main chapter after this one. This one just started. And then there's the after stories, and I'm still confused by those two. I don't know how long those are. So if I don't finish it in this part of my stream, I'm gonna go announce comic books, and then I'll be back tonight, and I'm gonna continue playing. Because I want to finish this today, which means I might stay up late and regret it later. But we also have 0 CGs in this route so far.
俺はこの町で育ったからな。生まれた時からこれが当たり前だった。
And the last stream I did was nothing but this route, so just to keep that in mind, it was like 5 hours about my last stream. No CG. I was raised in this town, but this has been the norm for me
こう
since
いう
birth.
もんだと刷り込まれてただけで自分の頭で考えてこなかったのかもしれねえ。
I kept thinking that this is how this town worked, and I never doubted it once.
あなたがこれまで言ってきたことは、今なら多少俺にも理解できます。
I understand what you've been saying so
したくは
far.
ない理解でしたが、
Not that I'm in agreement.
ロッピ
Robbie?
この町は異常です。人はマフィアを信奉し、公権力はその意味をなさない。
This town is unusual. The people follow the mafia, not the
し
law.
かし、マフィアの権威が失墜した今、この町は住みよい町とは言えなくなった。
But now that the mafia are losing status, this town's taking a turn for the worse.
犯
Robert
罪者
frowned.
は嫌いです。が、住民を守るのが警察の役目ですから。
I hate criminals, but protecting the people is my mission.
町の平穏のためにマフィアの力が必要なら、それに目をつむるのは致し方ないことなのかもしれないと。
If the mafia are needed to keep the peace here in town, then so be it. At least that's what I think.
今の俺にはそれがわかります。
I now understand what you told me. I'm not going to lose my mind in this route and try to kill people.
なのに、俺にそう言い聞かせてきたマルコに、今さらそんなことで悩まれても困ります。
And now here you are in torment because what you told me is bothering you.
住民を守るのが警察の役目か。
Our mission is to protect the people. His words woke me from my stupor. I chuckled and nodded at Roberto.
難しく考えすぎてたのかもしれねえな。
I must have been thinking too
俺
much.
たちの役目はこの町がどんな町だろうと変わらねえんだ。
The work ain't gonna change no matter the town or
ただ
place.
そこに生きている奴らが安心して暮らせるよう守るのが
Our job
俺の仕事だ。
is to make sure that the people here are protected.
まったく。
Unbelievable. Robert sighed deeply, then walked away with a paper in his
あい
hand.
つ、
Who knew?
なかなかいい刑事になってきたじゃねえか。
He's turned out to be a mighty fine cop in this route. I was glad to see him walk away as a man who was meant to be. He was meant to be. Oops. Eh. Orlok sighed in disbelief, but then he nodded with a hint of reluctance. That's because he loves you and you're going on a date with another man, even if it's pretend. What was Nicola thinking? Nicola was simply leading me on a walk throughout the town. The streets we were walking down were fairly safe without any protests inside. I assumed he made sure the areas we'd walk through would be safe, but all we were doing was chatting idly. We hadn't spoken at all about the mafia or the casino. We were talking about our favorite color, our favorite candy. But soon enough, I finally realized the path Nicola took us down gradually became quieter. I looked around and the sun was about to set. Is he gonna kill me? And then we came upon a narrow road. A number of men appeared and quietly surrounded us.
僕が誰か知っていて手を出すつもりなのかな。
You do know who I am, don't you? Oh, Nicola spoke calmly, but the men raised their guns at us. Nicola casually stood closer to protect me and continued.
じゃあ彼女が誰かも知っているのかな。彼女を殺せば彼は君たちを処分するよ。
You do know who she is. He will kill you if she dies. He? They began murmuring among
彼女が
themselves.
何者か、彼にとってどんな意味を持つ存在なのか。
I'm sure you are all well aware how important she is to him. So in the last chapter near the end, it had the directori say you need to go kill him, and they mentioned the Falzone, but it wasn't Silent the leader, so it was probably him. So this is probably the directory's men. But is she important?
もし知らずに手を出すつもりなら、まずは上に確認した方がいい。取り返しのつかないことになる前に。
If you don't, I strongly suggest you check with your superiors first before things are too late. They went silent for a while. Then one of the masked men waved his arm and a car stopped next to us.
乗れ。
Get in. He pointed his gun at us and then at us to get us to move. I looked at Nicola to see what to do. Nicola smiled and nodded at me. I nodded back and got into the car. Well, all she does is get in the car, then they slam the door shut and shoot him. They blindfolded us as we entered the car. The car had been driving for a while. Soon it stopped and we were let outside. I assume we hadn't left town, simply how long the car was running. They were still keeping us blindfolded, but I could feel the roughness of the ground under my feet. Then... where are we? Our blindfolds were taken off and they began to bind our hands and feet. Even though the sun had set, I could still hear the constant sound of machinery. Is this some kind of factory? It can't
ここ
be.
は死体を処理するにも都合がいい。
This place is perfect to get rid of bodies. The masked men looked down at us and
お前
laughed.
たちの知っていることをすべて話すなら生かしてやってもいいが。
We'll let you two live if you're willing to tell us everything that you know.
脅しが下手だね。もしかしたら殺しは得意なのかもしれないけど。
You folks seem to know about killing people, but you're not good with threats.
君たちは拷問というものを何も分かっていないようだ。
I'm surprised you haven't resorted to torture, to be honest.
情報を引き出したら殺すつもりだろ。分かっていて素直に喋ると思う？
Do you seriously think we'll talk, knowing that you'll kill us after we're done?
死んだ方がマシだと思わせてやる。吐いて楽になりたくなるようにな。
Don't worry, we'll make sure that you're begging for death.
ご心配なく。死にたくなったら喋る前に舌を噛み切って勝手に死んであげる。
Not to worry, I'll simply bite my tongue and die before then. The men sounded quite irritated by Nicola's calm demeanor. It seemed Nicola was in control and wasn't fazed at all. But I don't think instigating him is going to get us anywhere. I couldn't help but worry about what was going to happen next. Unless that's his way of negotiating, the man suddenly turned towards
女
me.
に聞くという手もあるな。
Then I can work with her instead. Nicola's expression didn't change, but the tone of his voice became menacing.
もう忘れたのかな。彼女に手を出せば彼が黙っていないと言ったはずだ。
Have you played or looked at playing Dispatch? No, I haven't seen it. But it sounds like a police radio. Are you forgetting something? I said he won't be pleased if she
どう
dies.
せまだ確認を取っていないんだろ
I assume you haven't checked yet.
女に手を出すとは言っていないさ。
I didn't say I was gonna kill her. Nicola calmly glared at him. The man punched Nicola in the face.
お前を痛めつければことは足りる。お前が吐くか、女が吐くまでな。
Lurking without audio, but yes, dispatch. How do you hear, Laura? How do you hear? Oh, wait, because of the text. I'm tired, yo. I get it, because you're reading chat. I need to do this to you until you or she spills. Or does this have auto subtitles? I bet they're terrible, but I think it would. He kicked Nicola in the stomach, and the others around him followed suit. Nicola's body folded as he groaned and withered in pain. Please stop, my guy, I yelled at the top of my lungs. I have an illness. I don't know what that'll do. Is that better or is that worse? I can't tell. I have an illness. Nicola looked surprised as he at my sudden exclamation. What in
お
the...
前の持病など知ったことか。
Like I'd care whether you're sick or not. I mustered the strength inside me to somehow talk some sense into my story. I was born with a weak heart. Just the sight of blood is too much for me. I'm gonna go unconscious if you keep that up. Even the doctor said that too much shock could stop my heart. The men stopped their beating, hearing my story. So if you won't be able to get anything from me if you keep that up.
君がこんなところで死んでしまったらきっと彼も困るよね
I'm sure he wouldn't be pleased if you ended up dead. Nicholas smiled and looked at the men. The man clicked his tongue, then kicked Nicola in the face.
お
Nicola!
となしくしていろ。
Keep quiet, you hear. The man irritatedly spat on the ground and left the area with the others. I love it. She's like, I faint at blood sight. I heard the entrance being locked. Soon their voices were no longer heard. Are you okay, Nicola? I couldn't move much with the rope binding my arms and legs. I inched my way towards Nicola. Nicola slowly raised himself from the ground and smiled at me.
大丈夫だよ彼らは暴力沙汰には慣れているみたいだけどそれだけだから
I'm fine. They seem to know how to handle killing, but that's all. That's
誘
all.
拐拷問監禁突発的な状況とはいえどれも不慣れみたいだね
They didn't seem to know how to properly abduct, torture, or detain their targets.
室内に見張りもつけない捕まえた二人を同じ場所に置きなおかつ喋る隙まで与えてくれる
There's also no one in here. They even left us together to talk to one another. Nicholas' smile suddenly widened as he chuckled.
ありがとう奴らの出花をくじいてくれたね君が止めてくれなければ彼らが上に確認しに部屋を出ていくのは
Thank you. You did well back there. If you hadn't intervened, they probably wouldn't have left here like
これ以
this.
上殴ると死ぬっていうところまで僕を痛めつけた後になっていたと思うよ
Who knows? Maybe they would have beat me to the brink of death. Seeing what took place only a moment ago, I asked him a question. Why did you rile him up like that? If he didn't know any better, if they didn't know any better, or they couldn't control themselves, they could have killed you.
そもそも彼らは僕を殺すつもりだったからね
Correction, they were going to kill me.
いかにも何か握っていそうなふりをして先延ばしにさせようと思ったんだ挑発はそのために必要だっただけ
Did I forget to swallow? That was wild. I needed to get their attention so that they wouldn't off me quickly and be done with that. Nicola! His voice was calm. I could tell he was prepared to die.
けど驚いたよまさか君が心臓病だとは夢にも思わなかったから
But I'm surprised. I never thought you actually had a weak heart.
それも血を見ると気絶するなんてねストラノでよく怪我人の手当てをしている君が
And passing out from seeing blood after all those people you've tended to in Strano, you know that.
もちろん君は知らなかっただろうけど僕はずっと前から君を見ていたんだよ
Of course, you may not have known, but I've been watching you for a long time. Sounds right. That sounds so right. I'm sure he was referring to watching me because I was a key maiden, but even in a time like this, I could feel my heart race from his sweet smile. Nicola is such a womanizer. His voice probably couldn't be heard from outside with all of the noise from the machines. Nicola looked at me and began to speak.
彼と少し話をしてきたんだ。確信したよ。彼は君を傷つけられないって。
I spoke with him and I can confirm that he won't harm you. About this him you
ディレッ
mentioned,
トーレ、リトンのことだよ。
the directory, rather Riton. You went to see
彼が
him.
本当に僕の知っているリトンなのか、襲撃の前に確かめておきたくてね。
I just wanted to make sure he was Riton. I knew before we attacked the casino. You remember him?
思い出したんだよ。ジュリアに話を聞くまで完全に忘れていたけどね。
Not until I heard Julia's story. I'd completely forgotten about him.
同じ屋敷に出入りしていたんだ
Are they the
か
same
ら、
person?
クロエとも何度か話したことがあるよ。僕には
I
優
just have
し
a
い女性だった。
Have a moment of clarity. Is the directory and Henri the same person, just like with a wig? They usually don't do that, which is the only reason I hadn't thought that might be him. But oh my god, is it him? Oh my god, is it him? Is it him? I can recall now how sweet Chloe was too. I spoke with her a number of times back when she lived at the manor.
もう少し説明するから、
You want the
話を
answer?
聞きながら
No.
ちょっと手伝ってもらってもいいかな。
No, I want to be surprised, but I just, God, did I just figure something out? Or am I wrong? Am I so wrong? I'll explain a bit more so you can help me out a bit, Darian. I can give you a yes or no. It's okay. It's okay. I want my brain to keep turning. If I have an answer, I won't keep thinking up things. Help, sure. How?
銃とナイフは取り上げられたけど、見えるところにしか武器を持たないなんて三流だからね。
They took my gun and my knife, but leaving all your weapons in plain view is something that a rookie does.
ベルトの裏側に薄いナイフを仕込んであるんだ。
There's a really thin knife stowed behind my belt. Mm-hmm. You want me to take it out, right? Nicholas smiled. I turned my back to Nicholas so that I could get my hands close to his belt.
鋭いナイフだから指を切るかもしれない。気をつけて。
Be careful, the knife is really sharp, you might cut your finger. It's okay, I don't mind if it's a little. We don't have much time to spare.
こんな状況なのに、君はすごく冷静だね。まるでマフィアみたいだ。
I thought she understood how weird it sounded and that was it, but not her just being chill. You're a lot calmer than I expected, no different from the mafia. Was he praising me or teasing me? Rather than continuing thinking about what he meant, I instead concentrated on my hands. I looked behind my shoulder and slipped my fingers between his pants and his belt. He gave a slight chuckle as if he was ticklish. I slowly ran my fingers down his belt. I came into contact with a metal object. I carefully pinched it and pulled it out.
彼にとって僕は目障りな存在なんだ。昔の彼を覚えているからね。
I'm a nuisance to him since I know what he was like back in
僕
the
が
day.
一人でファルツォーネの屋敷を出たら、案の定彼の手下が始末しに来てくれた。
As expected, he sent his thugs after me as soon as I left the manor alone. I got it, Nicola.
そのナイフを今度は僕の手に握らせて。少しくらい刺さっても構わないから。
Go ahead and place the knife on my hand. Don't worry about cutting me. Of course I'm worried. You think he's really ticklish? No. Not even a little bit. I think he's just a man in this situation. Plus, he's the womanizer in this situation. They talk about how many girlfriends he has. And he's a womanizer in general. He flirts with all the girls. I felt like the knife itself, including the handle, was made out of some sheet metal. I slowly placed the knife into his hand. I don't know why I'm picturing, like, okay, this is like a nail file. I'm picturing something like this big. She's like, here's the knife. It's like that tiny. She's like, eek. He can be ticklish. Anyone can be. Yeah, but where she's touching isn't... It's like his waist. And she's got his pants blocking her hands. And that didn't sound... I'm sorry. I know what a giggle sounds like. That is not... I'm ticklish. Just so, for the record. I placed the knife into his hand. Grazie. Yang can be ticklish. I would love Yang to be ticklish. What a relief. I would be so amused. I felt a bit better now that I could tell he had the knife in his hand. I turned back towards him just as Nicola turned to face at
彼
me
らは
as
僕
well.
を殺すつもりだったから拘束具の準備はできていなかった。おかげで簡単に抜け出せる。
They didn't have the proper means to tie me down because they planned on killing me makes life a lot easier. I could hear the ropes being cut as he used the knife to free his
僕を
wrist.
殺せと部下に命じるとき、彼はきっと君については一言も触れなかっただろうね。
I'm assuming he didn't tell them what to do with you when he ordered them to kill me. I see. It's not often that we're outside together either. Plus, this is like my 4th abduction in a
連中は
year.
困惑したと思うよ。僕が女連れでのんびり街を散歩していたから。
Which is why they were confused seeing me take a leisurely stroll with a woman.
ま、僕たちだったらそんな状態で手は出さない。不確定な要素は徹底して潰したいからね。
I don't know, Yang's laugh is something else. It's not melodic. It's like a weird... Okay. His laugh is premeditated. Like, his laugh is intentional. That would be a natural laugh. It would change. It would be probably closer and a little bit higher pitched. So imagine his Cupid Parasite voice. It'd be hilarious. Anyways. If I had been them, I wouldn't have attacked. Don't want too many unknown variables after all. It's a good thing they didn't know me, but if Rattan had told them I was the key maiden, and if he had given them orders on what to do if I was with you, they would have killed you. What Nicola did back in town was too dangerous a risk.
覚えている？ギレットーレの周りの人間が1年で20人以上死んでいるって話。
Remember how those 20 people connected to the directory committing suicide within a year?
まる
Yes.
で自分に近づきすぎた人間を許しておけないみたいだよね。
Doesn't it sound like he's killing anyone who comes too close to him?
彼が子飼いを作らないことは確かだった。自分以外誰も信用していないんだ。
We can be certain that he doesn't have a partner. After all, he doesn't trust anyone.
ああ、私は結局あの男のことをほとんど知らなかった。
That's a flashback. I don't know why I waited for the flashback.
Did it-
I
Nice.
just... Nicola's words brought back the memory of when I was in the Feltzone's cell.
僕は彼の意図を正しく把握できない部下が餌に食いついてくるのを期待して。
I was just waiting for his men to come with incomplete information. And sure enough, they took the bait. Nicola smiled. His bruises must hurt badly, but his smile made it seem like he was in no pain at all.
今日はダンテがカジノに行く日なんだ。襲撃の下見を兼ねてね。
Dante's going back to the casino today to prepare for the attack. That means the directory can't move as freely as he wishes.
そう。彼らが君の処遇を問い合わせてもすぐには回答を得られないと思う。
I doubt they'll have gotten an answer from him today. I tied his rope. I heard his rope snap as his arms were finally freed.
僕たちが逃げるチャンスは十分にある。僕が無理でも君さえ逃げてくれればみんなに状況が伝わるからね。
We have a good chance of making our escape. Even if I don't want it, you could escape and let everyone know what happened.
このゲームは僕たちの勝ちだ。
I won this game fair and square. Nicholas smiled with satisfaction, but I couldn't bring myself to. You want me to be the proof. They abducted us at gunpoint. I saw you being beaten right in front of my eyes. If we can find evidence that those men are connected to Rattan, then I could offer substantial testimony that he was involved in a crime.
僕たちは何の証拠
Even if they attacked the casino, they could make the case that he was also at fault for the attack. He rubbed his wrist and looked at me. Nicola then took a breath and spoke to me
君をこん
seriously.
なにも危険な目に遭わせたことは心から謝罪するよ。
I apologize from the bottom of my heart that I put you through this. Okay, well, calm down.
何か一つでも読み間違えていたら君が殺される可能性もあった。
You could have been killed if my plan went awry even a little. You told Warlock you would protect me no matter what. You weren't just saying that. You were serious, weren't you? Oh, we're making all the boys blush. This is the pick everyone route. I didn't even know that was an option in a game. Nicola laughed, a little embarrassed. He then looked down at his leg and began to cut himself free.
まずは逃げよう。僕もあの人数を銃なしで相手にするのはごめんだし。
Let's get out of here. I don't want to face them again with a gun. Where are we? We haven't left Berlone, right? I couldn't tell if we were walking through a forest before coming in here. It was easy to tell by the wet ground that the roots growing in all
大体の当たりはつ
directions.
いている。ここはストラノだよ。その端にある森の奥だ。
I have a hunch where we are. It's probably the forest next to Strano. Nicola cut the ropes binding me. Did he lift me up? We were ready to move when the men returned inside the room.
貴様
Like you. Seeing us free, he quickly drew his gun.
やめろ撃つな
Stop it, don't shoot. He tried to stop his comrade, but it was too late. Nicola pushed me down to the ground so that we could stay low. The bullets flew over us and hit the ground behind
か
us.
けよ
Gazio! Huh? Suddenly, a bright light flashed through the area. Nicola threw himself over me. The men and the area itself, everything was engulfed in flames. I didn't know what happened. My consciousness faded away. I died. Oh my god, I died. Okay, so did I have a choice at all before this? Did I just have a bad choice? Do I just have to make the other choice? I don't know anything. We'll try that. I could still have been a bad ending. I don't know anything. There's nothing I have that you
知らないはず
want.
がないマフィアの女なら何かしら
Impossible. You're his girl. There has to be. I'm not anyone's girl. I'm just a normal girl from the church. He seemed to be a bit confused at what I was saying. The town is unsafe now, so he simply offered to walk me through town after
アル
church.
ソーネのアンダーボスがわざわざただの女の護衛を
You telling me the Falzoni's underboss was only acting as an escort? The Berlone Mafia have long since offered help to the church for years now. They stopped while I was talking. I needed to somehow buy us some time as much time as I could by talking. Nicola said something about some man above you, but I don't even know who he is. There's no way I can give you any information. He went silent.
彼に確認を取ればいい。そうすれば彼女の言葉が真実だとわかるはずだよ。
Go ahead and contact him. You'll know what she said is true. Nicola was smiling like he wasn't hurt at all. Okay.
さっきの何も知らないって君の言葉、かなり説得力があったよ。
What she said earlier about not knowing anything was a good call.
普通の女の子に僕たちが秘密を明かすはずはないからね。
It's only natural that we wouldn't share top secret information with any girl. Nicola, do you mind elaborating what your plan is supposed to be? You were calm back then when they surrounded us. You knew this was going to happen, right? Okay. Are we still gonna die here? Well, give me a choice if it's death both directions. Maybe, okay, so further back. How did I end up on that? What the heck? Is my thing that bad? How did I get the worst one? Oh no. Hang on. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. duh. I wonder if this is bad ending number 3, because it doesn't really say on how to get there. No. Do I have everything? I'm looking at the file names. Oh gosh. Wait, is this only showing me choices that matter? Have I made such bad choices up until now that I'd have to go back so far? Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's just go back. Let's see. The Visconti. I'm pretty sure I made the right choices here. Let's just make sure. I really want to. So far, everything I choose is right. Oh gosh. Okay, hang on. It's ridiculously short. Okay, I'll go back to the church. I know that I picked that. I'm going all the way back, bro. All right. Not really, but I'm pretty sure I picked that one because it felt right. Better get back to my duties. I know I picked that one. Did she come to pray? Let's see. I think I didn't. Did you come to pray?
回収
Pray. You came to the church to offer your prayers, no?
俺が祈ると思うか
Do you think I'd pray? Why not? I recall all he said he's done until now. Let's make this smaller and put it in the corner. I may have that way too large. Relax, relax, relax. Calm down. Okay. I shook my head.
そんなバカな話があってたまるか。
You'd have to be an idiot to think I'd do that. See, that's why I didn't pick it. Yang sighed in disbelief, but it was oddly reassuring to hear him say that. It would have been an even bigger shock if he had said he had believed in God. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-da. It's probably too late. Oh yeah, this is where you die if you go. That's the only choice so far that I've made that's different. Okay, there's a couple more now, but like originally there wasn't as much. How did I get a bad ending? Listen, something doesn't feel right. He faints. He's got malaria, like they always do. Orlak, I'm so sorry, but can you go and get the doctor? I recalled how fast Orlak could move back when I saw him in action at the church. He could surely get to the doctor faster than I could. Berlone also wasn't very safe at the moment. I was certain that Orlak could be able to cope with any unexpected events. This might be the best course of action.
俺を頼ってもらえるのは
I'm happy you're
嬉しい。
relying on me, but fuck no.
もし自分で行くなんて言われたらどうしようかと思ったし。
I was worried you're about to say that you're gonna go by yourself. Then
けど
I can't fulfill your
うんとは
request.
い
Orlok looked vexed. And then I ran away. And then retaliate. We aren't like that. I didn't care if they spoke ill of me, but I couldn't just let them go on about the people at the church. The church is the house of God. Dehydrate. Whoa. The sisters are innocent. Innocente. How dare all of you say that when you know better?
はあマフィアが後ろにいるからって偉そうなこと言いやがって。
It's pineapple. I don't like pineapple, by the way. I don't know why I grabbed that. I've been slowly. So these are like cheaper to get. They're Alani's. I don't know who she is, but most of them taste pretty good. I like the slushy ones, which I think maybe that's why I got this one. I think it's shaved ice. I don't know why I got this one. I think I saw pink and assumed it was fruity. Pineapple is a great flavor. It can be. I'm not arguing that I have never had a pineapple drink and went, yummy. But I don't like this. It tastes too much like pineapple. They had one that was pumpkin that tasted exactly like pumpkin puree. And I'm not going to lie to you. I hated it. I like pineapples in my burgers. Ooh, with like a teriyaki sauce. Hell yeah. I agree with that sentence. Talking back just because you got the mafia behind
生
you.
意気なんだよ。反省しやがれ。
Dumb bitch, take this. Whoa, one of the men in the crowd went in a rage and raised his fist at me. I closed my eyes, ready for pain to strike. Huh? But the pain I imagine never came.
なんだお前。急に出てきやがって。
Oh, teriyaki sauce. Yeah, a burger with pineapple and teriyaki sauce. Good. Good, good, good. You haven't had it? I think Ono Hawaiian has it. I think they probably make it that. It's just called a teriyaki burger, and it literally will have teriyaki and a slice of pineapple on it. It's so good. What the? Get out of my way. His fist struck not me, but the person who jumped in front to protect me. Henri! Henri! I held back a scream as I supported his staggering body.
どけ
Be gone. Oh my god. What? Why you? Okay, I keep trying the wrong one. Orlok used brute force to tear away the mob as he approached.
行こう道は俺が切り開く
Let's go, I'll clear the way. Come with us. We followed after Orlok as he cleared a path with me holding up Henri along the way. Oh dang, we have a different route entirely. Orlok finally came to the stop after we could no longer hear the mob behind us. Gosh, you have really pretty eyes for a monster. Suddenly Henri shook off my arm. Are you okay?
ああ、すまない。
Yes, forgive me. He was apologizing? He got hurt protecting me? If anything, I should be the one
Lily.
apologizing.
その人は
Lily, who is he?
確か前も教会に来てたと思うけど。
I recall seeing him at the church before. That's all you need to know. I replied to Orlok, this is Henri. This is Henri, my guy. Oh gosh, let's go back to this one actually. Listen, I had to beg this man for his name. How does this even look? Oh, it looks perfect. It's beautiful. We're in peace now. I don't want to drag him into this. I kept my reply simple and vague.
あなたは彼女を守ってくれた人だけど。でも、無条件で信じるのは無理。
I know you protected her, but I can't trust simply because of
も
that.
し彼女に何かすれば、容赦しない。
I won't let you go if you do anything to her. Orlok, my guy, please. After holding Henri back, Orlok turned to look at me.
お願いだから戻ろう。こんな状況で医者を呼びに行くのは無茶だ。
Please, let's head back. It's too risky to get the doctor like this. I'm sorry, Orlok, but Luca was still suffering from a fever. His malaria wasn't just gonna vanish. Malaria doesn't cure itself. It'd only get worse over time. I needed to get a doctor to him before it was too late. We've come this far already. We can't just turn back now. Orlok's brow furrowed when...
あれこんなところで何してるんです？
What are you two doing here? Leo, what are you doing
Oh.
here?
俺はちょうど教会に食料を届けに行くところだったんですけど。
I was heading to the church to deliver some supplies. Leo was looking at us curiously, so I briefly explained the situation. After I finished, Orlok suggested a plan.
リリーは彼と一緒に教会に戻って。医者は俺が呼びに行く。
Lily, you go back to the church with him and I'll get the doctor. Except Leo's not as strong as you. I know you're faster than Leo.
今は時間が惜しい。騒ぎがここまで波及してこないとも限らない。
We don't have much time. Hurry. We need to act before another riot.
俺に護衛を任せるってことだよな。
You want me to
任
guard
せ
her?
ろ。オリ
Leave
ロッ
it to
ク。
me, Orlok. Thanks to Leo. Thank you, Leo. I'm sorry,
謝
Orlok.
らなくていい。あなたが無事なら。それで。
God, I love Orlok so much. Don't apologize. I'm fine as long as you're safe. Orlok smiled, then quickly ran off to get the doctor. Before I knew it, he had disappeared from sight.
俺たちも急ぎましょう。あ、そっちの人も一緒ですか？
We better get moving. Is he with you too?
私は
Yes, he saved me
わかり
earlier.
ました。安心してくださいね。二人とも俺がしっかり守ります。
Got it. Well, don't worry. I'll get you both safely back to the church. Henri's like, can you please not? Alana was pacing back and forth in front of the church. Lily! She ran towards me.
よかった、無事で。やっぱりお医者様を呼びに行っていたのね。
I'm so glad you're safe. You went to get the doctor, didn't you? Yes, but there was a problem along the way, so I had to come back.
騒ぎに？
Problem? Elena looked concerned. She finally noticed that there were two other people with
レ
me.
オと、あなたも一緒だったのね。
Leo, and you're here too? Henri gave a troubled smile. Orlok went to get the doctor instead.
そう、とにかくリリーが無事でよかったわ。
I'm just glad that you're safe, Lily.
でも心配ね。電話さえつながればすぐに来てもらえたのに。
It's too bad the phone didn't work. The doctor could have been here by now. I doubt the doctor could have come here alone with the way things were now. Now that I think about it, having Orlok go to get the doctor was probably the right call.
電話つながらないんです。
Your phone doesn't work?
調子が悪いなら
I can take a
俺は-
look.
み 見てわかるの？
You know how to fix it? Look at this pairing. Look at this pairing! They'd be so cute together! Wait, I like it.
まあ普通の故障くらいだったらなんとかできるかもしれないです。
If it's something minor, I should be able to get it working
す
again.
ごい。ぜひお願いしたいわ。こっちに来てくれる？
Wow, would you then? Here's the way.
先に台所に寄ってもらってもいいです？俺食料とかいろいろ持ってきたんで。
Man, I could see their love story. That's so cute. Gosh. Can I go to the kitchen first? I have some supplies for you. Elena and Leos friggin' trotted off. Talked as they made their way to the refectory. Henri and I were alone together. Henri, let me check your injury.
いや、大した怪我じゃない。君も無事に教会にたどり着いたことだし、私はこれで。
No, it's nothing serious. We've reached the church safely, so I'll excuse myself. Please let me treat you now. It was my fault. Henri hesitated at first, but then finally nodded in agreement. Well, let's go to the kids in the monastery. May be frightened to see someone injured like this. It was probably not a good idea to have too many people around Henri either. The church, I'm sure no one's in there now. With what had been going on, hardly anyone came to visit even during the daytime. Understood. Drag this man inside my church. Henri is so pretty. He is. He reminds me of like an angel from Cafe Enchanté. The church was completely empty. Like almost Xion pretty. Xion's prettier when he has blue hair though, so it's hard to say. He looked at the front of the entrance, but he didn't make a sign of the cross and simply headed to one of the pews. Huh. When entering the church, we usually use the water in the front to bless ourselves. Why didn't he do it? I've seen him here a number of times, but was he not a believer? Liliana, you've let oh my gosh. You let a heretic into your house? Questions started forming in my mind. Wait a moment. Let me get a towel. I mean, he's not here to pray. Also, she hasn't mentioned about anyone else doing that, so I don't know. What route is this? It's supposed to be the finale. So it's the secret route / the true ending. I don't know if they have different endings to get either one though. I'm cheating. I'm using a Atome Kitten's guide. Since I just killed myself earlier. After seeing Henri nod, I hurried to the dormitory to get a towel. I quietly opened the door and was greeted by Sister Sophia. I just came to see how Luca was
今
doing.
のところは落ち着いています。しばらくは大丈夫でしょう。
He's been stable so far. Things should be fine now. I held Luca's small warm hand and whispered close to his ear, just a little longer, Luca. Orlok should be back with the doctor at any minute. I gently touched Luca's sleeping face. Mending. Ooh.
うん。この電話自体は壊れてません。どこ
Hmm.
もおかしくないみたいです。
The phone looks fine. I don't see anything wrong with it.
そうなの？でも全然かからないの。
Really? But it doesn't
って
work.
ことは、
Maybe. I checked the whole phone in and out, and possibility came
も
to
しかした
mind.
ら電話線が切られてるのかも。建物の裏に回ってみましょ
Maybe the phone line's severed. Let me check the connections.
じゃあこっちに。
Okay, this way. But who? I gently touched Luca's sleeping face. I then took a towel from the cabinet and headed back out. I returned to the church hall with a clean towel and a bowl of water in hand. Henri was sitting in a pew and looking at the altar in a daze. It didn't seem like he'd even noticed me enter. I called out to him. Should I cheat? Should I just cheat? Does it still hurt? Just constantly asking that one question. You shouldn't ask if someone's praying. That's between them and God. Just Henri. I quietly spoke his name. He slowly looked my way. Does it still hurt?
そうではないよ。気遣いには感謝するが、
I appreciate you asking, but that's not it.
少し昔を思い出していただけだ。聖堂に入るのは久しぶりだから。
I was just remembering things. It's been a while since I've been inside a church. Really?
ああ、
Yes. He doesn't come inside the church after all of those times he came to visit. I guess Henri isn't a believer after all. That's quite unusual. Apart from the Lao Shu, most people in Europe followed the teachings of the church. Here, it should be cooled enough. I awkwardly sat next to Henri and tried to put the cool towel against his head. Henri suddenly drew away from me. I didn't expect Henri's reaction at all. He spoke without looking at me.
やはり手当ては必要ないよ。
I don't require any treatment. My guy, I got this for you.
先ほども言ったが、大した怪我でもない。痛みもないから大丈夫だ。
As I said, it isn't a serious injury. It doesn't hurt anymore. Huh? Of course it hurts. Isn't it swollen?
いや、問題ない。
No, it really isn't. It's fine. Hold still. Finally, a CG. I forced the towel to the side of his head. Oh my god. It's been 600 years. Look at Henri. Look how cute he is. Henri held his breath in surprise and froze in place. I heard him say something. He almost said Chloe. He almost said Chloe. Look at that. Look at that. Who would say Chloe? Her brother would. Mm-hmm. I thought he said something, but I probably shouldn't ask him about it. I continued. Does it hurt?
いや、冷たさに驚いただけだ。
God, he has such pretty eyes. Like, oh my god. Also, I'm still cheating, by the way. I have a guide pulled up since I got us a bad ending already. Not a true bad ending, but a bad ending. I get like 6 emails at one time. I got worried. Okay. We're fine. Oh yeah. The Choose Wisely festival, someone gave me some codes to give out when I'm streaming, so I have some codes, guys. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm just surprised by how cold it is. The hall filled with silence. I looked at his face as he averted his gaze. Thank you for protecting me, Henri. You warned me so often to not get involved with the mafia, but I didn't listen to you. This town was in distress, just as Henri predicted. Yeah, keys. I have some keys. Is that the other word people use for them? For the Choose Wisely festival happening in 2 weeks? You gave up on me back then after I denied what you said, but you still protected me even at the risk of your life. Thank you, and I'm sorry. Best streamer ever confirmed. Yeah, so biased. Crazy bias. Most biased watcher. Henry listened to me to my words in silence and finally turned towards me.
私が正しかったと理解しても、君はまだ自分を曲げないつもりか?
And you still won't change your ways even knowing I'm right. Yes, there are things that need to be done no matter the risk involved. It was the same as today. I could have lost my life, but I still need to go on.
そんな気がしていたよ。
I thought you'd
私も。
say that. Henri exhaled deeply and gave a mirthless chuckle. You're going to forgive me?
許すも何も。私に君の行動を縛る権利など、初めからないだろう。
There's nothing to forgive. I don't have the right to bind you to any actions. I took the now warm towel from his head and dipped it into a bowl of water again. I squeezed the towel dry, then placed it back on onto the swollen bruise. And Henri, I decided to say what I wasn't able to before. What happened before has been bothering me. You remember how we parted ways after you tried to warn me? You told me we probably wouldn't meet again, so I thought it was the end. So when I saw you here again, I was surprised and happy to see you. I suppose it's not surprising that we'd meet again by chance. We do live in the same town. I'm glad we were able to meet again. It was quiet the whole time I was talking. Maybe we met today because
神様のお導きだ。
God
とでも。
brought us together. I froze, forgetting what I was going to say. His voice was cold and ruthless. His eyes were devoid of life.
リリー、ここにいたのね。
Oh, Lily, there you are. Eleanor. Oh gosh. Helena, do you need something?
オルロックがお医者様を連れてきてくれたわ。
Orlok came back with the doctor. Thank goodness.
早く行きましょう。ああ、でも、
Let's go. Oh, but wait.
その人、あなたの知り合いなのよ
Isn't
ね。
he your friend? Yes. I went to go and make sure Luco's okay, but I couldn't leave Henri here. It's my fault he got hurt. He's
じゃあ、
gonna leave.
あの子のことは私たちが見ておくから。
Well, we'll be with the doctor to make sure things are okay. He must have noticed my hesitation. Henri silently removed the towel from his head.
痛みは引いた。もう帰らせてくれ。
The pain has subsided. I must get going. But you should
いや、
rest.
これ以上とどまるつもりはない。
No, I don't intend to stay any longer. This guy has like bipolar disorder to the 10th degree.
暗くなる前に帰らなければ、夜道は決して安全ではないから。
It's gonna get dark soon. I'd rather avoid walking around at night because I need to change into my outfit and be the directoree. Of course, please be careful. Without a word, Henri left the church. The door to the church slowly closed. I better go and check on Luca. Despite trying to shake off my thoughts, I felt a pang in my heart. Girl fell in
Kami-sama.
love with the man who glares at her. His cold words echoed in my mind. If I don't go after Henri now, I probably will never see him again.
リリー、
Lily? I'm sorry, Elena. Can you go ahead of me? I hurriedly ran outside to give chase. Just chasing this man down. Henri was gone. He left already. I couldn't leave the church grounds alone. With a sliver of hope remaining, I ran to the garden. Henri! I sighed in relief seeing him there. Seeing me running towards him, Henri's eyes were wide in astonishment.
よかったのか？呼ばれていたのに。
Are you alright? I thought you needed to go. Yes, I nodded. Oh, I looked at Henri's bewildered face. About what we discussed earlier, I don't think we met because of God. It was because I wanted to see you, Henri. So maybe I was just lucky. I was a little embarrassed, but I smiled. Of course, I don't think it was luck, but Henri looked so sad earlier, so probably... Henri looked at me without saying a word. After some time
だと
passed,
したら、私もラッキーだな。街中で偶然君を見つけられた。
if so, then luck must be on my side too. I happened to see you in town
自
today.
分の運に感謝しよ
I'd better thank luck. Henri smiling. I returned his smile with relief. I think I said all I needed to say for now. I'll see you again,
う。
Henri.
ああ、また。
Yes, again. Oh no.
今さら計画は変えられない。
I can't change my plans now just because I fell in love with a girl.
後戻りはできない。許されない。
There's no turning back. It's too late. Sus. A voice called to me as I left the church.
君、
You there?
ああ、さっきの。
Coward, yeah. Well, revenge comes first, I guess. You're the person from earlier.
今日はありがとう。おかげで助かった。
Thank you for today. That was good timing.
よければ、君ともう少し話がしたい。どうだろう。歩きながらで構わない。
Do you have time to talk? We can converse while walking.
これから屋敷に戻るところだし、道草を食うわけにはいかないんだけど。
I need to head back to the manor. I don't exactly have all the time in the
歩
world.
きながらなら、まあ、大丈夫か。
I guess we can talk while I'm heading back. I couldn't give him the cold shoulder knowing he was friends with
いいけ
Lily.
ど、 話って？
Sure, what about?
リリアーナのことだよ。彼女には以前も世話になっていてね。
It's about Liliana. She's taking good care of me.
何かお礼をしたいと思うのだけれど、彼女の好きなものとか知
I
っている
wish
かい？
to repay her for her kindness. Do you know what she
好
likes?
きなもの
What
です
she
か？
likes? I'd been with her since back then when she was with the Visconti, so it's not that I don't know her. I recalled she didn't have any likes or dislikes of food and that she liked baking sweets. That's right. She has also took such great care of all her clothes she got as gifts. The information I had wasn't much, but I tried to convey all that I could. He nodded, hearing what I had to say, and he then
彼
spoke.
女がかわいそうでならないよ。親がいないからずっと教会で暮らしていると言っていた。
I feel sorry for her, hearing that she's been living in that church without any parents.
別に親がいないからってかわいそうとは限らないと思いますけど。
Even if someone doesn't have parents, you don't have to feel sorry for them.
気を悪くしたならすまない。もしかして君も？
I apologize if that came out wrong. Could it be that you...
そうです。俺も親がいないから彼女の気持ちちょっとわかる気がして。
Yes, I don't have parents either, so I think I know how she feels about it.
そりゃもちろん寂しいし、なんで俺がって思ったこともあります。
Still same route. Yes. We're only on chapter something because I had to redo all my choices because I got us killed. Sure, it's lonely sometimes. I know I've asked why me
けど、
before.
周囲の人にかわいそうなんて思ってほしくないですよ。
But I don't want
少
people
な
to
くと
feel
も
sorry
今
for
は
me.
俺、幸せですから。
I'm happy with how things are.
幸せ？どうしてそう思える？
Happy? Why do you say so?
俺、少しだけ親のことを覚えてるんです。
I remember my parents just a little.
当時はよくわかんなかったけど、多分、親の授業とか失敗して、
I didn't know back then, but I think my parents' work went bad.
家に金がなくなって、ガキの頃、ストラノに捨てられました。
We lost all of our money, and before I knew it, I was left alone in Strano.
親を恨んだこともある。けど、俺は運よくファルツォーネに拾われて、
I cursed them back then, but I was lucky enough that the Falzone family found me.
そこで生きる術を教えてもらいました。
It was then that I learned how to survive. My poor baby. Also, this backstory.
あの時、カポが俺を拾ってくれたから、今の俺がある。
I am who I am now because the Falzone's family boss took me in.
親がいなくたって、立派に生きてます。
So now I can live with pride without my
明
parents.
日の飯の心配なんてしなくていいし、夜はあったかいベッドで眠れる。
I don't need to worry about food anymore, and I have a warm bed to sleep in at night.
こんなに幸せなことないです。俺には。
That's more than enough reason to be
随
happy.
分とささやかな幸せだね。
I must say that's very admirable of you. His kind voice sounded like he was praising me. Great, now I'm blushing.
君はとても
I
頑
get
張
it.
り屋らしいな。
You've lived your very best all this
い
time.
え、そんなこと。
No, it isn't.
でも君がどれだけ頑張ったとしても、ファルツォーネでは幹部になれない。
But no matter how much you do, you won't go up in ranks in the
そういう
Falzone.
仕組みなのだろ
That's how it is, right?
ええ、まあ、
Yes.
う。なのに、頑張る必要があるのかい？
So why even do your best?
君をもっと評価してくれる場所が他にもあるんじゃないのかな。
Maybe there are other places that would properly reward you for what you do.
いいんです。俺は拾ってもらった恩を、カポ、ダンテさんに返したいだ
Man,
けです
he's
か
a
ら。
cult leader right there. That was cult leader behavior. He's like, oh, you work so hard and they will never appreciate you for it. That was good. I liked it. It's fine. I just want to repay our boss, to repay Dante for taking me in.
しかし、君には可能性があるだろう。
But you have so much potential, she said, punching the
可
table.
能
Gosh,
性？
potential.
考えてごらん。ブルローネの外にだって世界は無限に広がっている。
Think about it. Berlin isn't the only place in the
マフィア
world.
以外にしたいことはないのかな。例えば、そう、小さい頃の夢は。
Don't you want to do something besides be in the mafia? Perhaps live out a childhood dream?
君がまだ両親の庇護下にいた頃に抱いていた夢は。
Was there anything you
やりたかっ
dreamed
た
of
ことはない？
doing while living with your parents?
それは、
Well,
俺大きくなったら船長さんになるんだ。
I want to become a captain of a ship and then get stuck in a port surrounded by ice on all sides and have Frankenstein come on board my ship and then tell me the story of his life.
それでね、世界中を
And I'm gonna sail all over the world and take you with me, Mama, Papa.
よく考えてみて。君自身の可能性を。
Oh,
ブ
shoot.
ルローネで一生を終えることはない。
He's like saying the right stuff, but like in this tone that sounds bad. Think deeper about your potential. You don't need to end your life in Berlin. My dreams back then when I was a kid, things were different now, but memories of my happiness from back then came to mind. Somehow it felt painful and my chest tightened, but I slowly shook my
あ
head.
りがとうございます。でも、小さい頃の夢は、その時の話だから、
Thank you very much, but I left behind my dreams when I was
今の
little.
俺がしたいこととは違うんです。
What I dream of now is different. Seeing his smile yet concerned face made me smile
も
as
しかし
well.
たら、いつかそういう気持ちになる日が来るかもしれないですけどね。
You know, maybe one day I'll feel the same way I did
その
before.
時まで、ここで頑張ります。
So I'll do my best until then. With that, we parted ways and I headed back to the Feltzone Manor. After our short exchange, I hurried off to see Luca. The doctor injected Luca with some medicine. Luca's fever persisted for a while, but then it slowly began to subside. Finally, by morning, his fever settled. As for the phone, Leo said that the line had been cut. We believed it could be someone against the church and the mafia. Openly doing something against the church would be an insult to God. So Leo felt whoever did it was aiming for a more subtle approach and causing trouble. I looked at Luca's sleeping face, then placed a cool towel on his forehead. Yes, at some point this goes
看
back,
病
right?
を代わります。あなたは休みなさい。
At
ずっ
some
と寝
point,
ていな
right?
いでしょ
Let me watch him. You go get some rest. You haven't slept, have you? Sister
私の部屋
Sophia.
を使ってください。シーツも新しくしておきましたから。
You can use my room. I just changed the sheets for you. Thank you. Please take care of Luca. I appreciated Sister Sophia's kindness and concern and decided to leave Luca's side. Before going to Sister Sophia's room, I found myself headed to the church.
神様の
Yeah. His eyes were so cold and deep as the darkness. He sounded like he was cursing God. But why? I didn't know much about him, but I did know that he was suffering from something deep inside. Stomach virus, most likely. Alright. Well. Learn about Chloe. Remember Chloe, guys? Chloe fell in love with Dante's dad. It's annoying. It's so many choices. I made the right choice over and over again. But it just takes a couple and then you get the worst ending you've ever seen. Ah.
もうリトンたらだから言ったのに勝手に木登りなんてするからよ
See, Raton, I told you, didn't I? You shouldn't have climbed that tree.
ほら手当てするから
Here, let
腕を
me
出して
see. It
痛くない
doesn't hurt.
え
Huh?
痛くないもん
It doesn't hurt.
痛くないわけないでしょ
Of
ほら
course it
こ
hurts.
んなに腫れて
Look at the swelling.
ねえリトン一体どうしたの最近ちょっとおかしいわ
They don't they don't sound the right age because they were supposed to be like almost teenagers, both of them. Say, Raton, what's wrong? You've been acting strange
だって
lately. I
僕ハルツォーネなんて嫌いだよほとんど屋敷から出してもらえないし
I don't like the Feltzone. They don't let us out of the manor at
ブ
all.
ルローネもイタリア料理も嫌いフランスの方が良かった
I don't like Berlin's Italian food either. The food in France is better.
リトンたらまだそんなことを言っているの
Raton, are you being sour about that?
パルツォーネの人たちはみんな親切にしてくれるじゃない
Eat crossing my legs. The Feltzone have been very nice to us.
クロエは この街が好きなんだね。
You like this town, don't you, Chloe?
そうよ。と
Yes.
ても素敵な街だもの。
It's a wonderful town.
街並みは綺麗で、住む人も優しくて、私ブルローネが大好きになったわ。
The streets are clean and the people are kind. I like Berlin a
う
lot.
ん。どうせ好きになったのはシルビオがいる街だからでしょ。
I bet you only like this place because Silvio's here.
クロエわかりやすいよ。
You're so easy to read, Chloe.
嘘。そんなにわかりやすい？
I'm that easy to
ど
read.
うしよう。シルビオには気づかれていないわよね。
Oh no. Silvio doesn't know that I like him, does he?
とっくにバレてるんじゃない？
I think he's known for a while.
そうなの？もうリートンってば、早く教えてくれればよかった
Why
のに。
did you say something earlier?
冗談だよ、冗
I'm
談。
only joking.
リートン、からかったのね。
Riton, why you...
誰の葬式だ？
Whose
知
funeral is
らねえ
it?
のか？ハルツォーネで囲ってたっていう女だよ。
You don't know? It's the girl that the Feldsoni family had in their custody.
ああ、聞いた。見かけで満足できなくて、自分が本妻になろうとしたんだって？
The one that didn't settle for being a mistress and tried to be the boss's
お
wife.
い。で、邪魔になったんだろうな。死因はナイフで一突き。だとよ。かわいそうなもんだ。
She must have gotten in their way or something, poor thing. Something about being
まっ
stabbed.
たく、マフィアの女なんかになるから、こう
Shit.
なっちまったんだろうな。
Guess that's what happens when you're a mafia woman. Naturally. Okay, back to chapter 7. Is the same thing gonna happen again? Was I in 7 or was I in 8? I was in 8! I've messed up so bad. Dang, I had to go so far back. And I'm not changing my chapters. Everything's happening here. I'm worried about the people, guys. Because I'm a people person. I offered my prayers in silence in the church. Please protect the people here, those who may be going through suffering. Oh, I just skipped that entire conversation. I want to go to... Pretty sure it was like, I'm worried about the people. Okay, great. Imagine if I was wrong. Poor Gilbert. It'll be fine, my dude. You're gonna do great. You're so tall. Oh, the history. That's right. I was on my way back to the dormitory after locking the church doors. Henri, true form. Someone's gonna turn to a monster. I was aimlessly walking under the night sky. I could hear fighting in the town. Angry voices screaming, glass breaking, at times even
マフィアが
gunfire.
牛耳る町としてあるべき姿。狂っていたのは今までの方だ。
This is what happens when the town is under mafia control. The peace before was a facade.
私は歪みを正しい形に戻しただけだ。
I simply brought this town back to its true state. Dang. Sakuna? Wait, from Jujutsu Kaisen? Wait. I continued my way without a destination. Before I knew it, I arrived at the place I knew. Henri. I called out to the silhouette in the shadows. At first, he looked at me surprised, but now he was simply staring at me. We looked at each other in silence. Henri. I decided to break the silence. Why did you come to the church?
なぜそんなことを聞く？
Why do you ask? You didn't seem too interested in God or his teachings. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. Henri paused for a moment, then nodded to confirm what I said.
ああ、祈りに来ているわけではないよ。
Yes, I didn't come here to pray.
ここには大切な人が眠っている。
Someone precious to me sleeps here. Precious? Henri smiled curiously at me, seeing that I mumbled the words he just said to
けれ
me.
ど、
that aside,
今日は君の顔が見たかった。
I wanted to see you today. Me? I held my breath with
大切
hesitation.
な人が眠っている場所だから、私にとって教会はただ悲しい場所でしかなかった。
The church is a place of sorrow for me because of the person who sleeps
ここ
here.
に来るたび、望んでもいないのに過去が思い出される。
Each time I visit, my past mercifully returns. Unmerciful.
けれど、君の顔を見られた日は、その悲しみが少し和らぐ気がする。
But seeing you here somehow alleviates the
愚
sorrow.
かだな、
Absurd,
私は。
isn't it? Well, you're always welcome here, Henri. He was smiling to himself with scorn, so I tried to cheer him up. I'll be waiting for you.
今夜、君に会えてよかった。
I'm glad I saw you tonight.
おやすみ、リリアーナ。良い夢を。
Good night, Liliana. Sweet dreams. Yes, good night to you too, Henri. We said our good nights, but Henri wasn't leaving. Maybe he's waiting for me to leave. I smiled at him and waved my hands as I headed to the monastery. She's like, I'm gonna go. It was such a peaceful day until the loud voices appeared. Buonasera! It's the girl and the boy. And they're gonna make us snacks. And they're gonna taste actually good, surprisingly. And then they won't share their food with anybody else because they didn't trust and believe in them. Whatever you want to call it. Nightmare. Nightmare!
Ne, Riton. 今日サロンに初めて見る女の人がいたの。
Say, Raton, today there was a woman in the salon I'd never seen
銀
before.
髪のすごく綺麗な人だった。ベアトリーチェって言うんですって。
She was beautiful and had silverish hair. She said her name was Beatrice.
ちょっとお話しして。お互い似ているところもあったりして。
We spoke a little. It turns out we're sort of alike.
私たち気が合いそうねって。
She said she thinks we'll get along, but
そうしたらサロンにシルビオが来て、婚約者だって紹介されたわ。
then Silvio came to the salon and introduced me to her as his
もうす
fiancé.
ぐシルビオはベアトリーチェと結婚するんです
He
って。
said he's gonna marry her soon.
僕もメイドが言ってたの聞いた。
I heard that from one of the maids as well.
シルビオは周りの反対を押し切ってその人を選んだんだって。
Was something about choosing her despite the
周
opposition.
りの反対を押し切って。
Opposition.
向こうの家が厳しくてマフィアとの結婚なんて認めないって言ったから。
Yeah, they said her family didn't want her to marry into the
ベアト
mafia.
リーチェは自分の家を捨ててここに来たんだって言ってた。
So Beatrice left home and decided to live here instead.
クロエ
Chloe.
二人の結婚は祝福されていないのね。
So their marriage isn't being
そ
congratulated.
れならベアトリーチェはシルビオにふさわしくないってことでしょ。
That must mean that Beatrice isn't a good fit for him.
え
Huh?
でも当然だわ。だってシルビオにふさわしいのは
That makes sense. The person most befitted of Silvio
私。
is me.
クロエどうしたの？
Chloe, what's the
Chloe.
matter?
このタイミングで亡くなるなんてやっぱりあのことが原因よね。
I can't believe she passed away like that. I wonder if it's because of
え
that.
え、奥様にあんなことをしたら旦那様だってね
I wouldn't be surprised after doing that to the boss's
夕
wife.
食にこっそり毒を持って死体は崖から捨てたんだろうって庭師が話していたわ。
The gardener said they must have poisoned her and tossed her off a cliff.
毒？
Wait
本当
a
な
second.
のそ
Are
れ
you sure?
こんなところで立ち話ですか。廊下の掃除は終わっておられるんでしょうね。
I suppose you're both done cleaning the corridor, seeing as you can both chat.
ええ、すぐに。
Right. They would likely reprimand me. Later in the day, I was checking in the inventory in the kitchen to see what food supplies we had left. The children have been forcing smiles on their faces. They were doing all that they could to try and keep their minds off of the state of the town. If only I could cheer them up. I needed to try and be frugal with food since I didn't know how much longer I would have, and I realized I'm rereading stuff. About the day when you asked Nicola to guard me in your place, what business were you taking care of? If you can't tell me, I understand. This is literally, that was weird. I want to meet him. I go there and I meet him. He tells me all these things, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Even if hatred was the cause of everything, I wanted to do what I could to help the people who felt this way.
ゲイか
Why did that act like it was new content? Emilio shows up. Emilio's like, hey, bro, everything he's telling you, I already knew. I told him everything he's telling you. And he's happy for the first time in his entire life because he's like, I got a purpose. I love purposes. Soon. Did I see this already? We'll play it just in case. Problem with these is that some of them are skippable, but does it mean I've watched it already? For saying you'll protect me, you know. And blushing. Aw, he's blushing. Those two fighting. Dante and I getting along. We're just having our life here. My mind continued to think about what was happening even that night upon us. Chloe loved Silvio. She thought she was destined to be with him. Her younger brother is... Maybe his fate was warped by the Falzone's family mission. He lost his parents and his only sister. I wonder, did he live alone all this time? Did he? Madam!
お医者様を急いで
Hurry, get the doctor.
ねえクロエ
Say, Chloe,
どうしてあんなことしたの
why did you do
あん
that?
なことあんなことって
Do what? Whatever do you mean?
あの人を階段から突き落とした
That woman, you pushed her down the stairs.
だってシルビオと結ばれるのは
I'm the one who's going to be with Silvio.
彼に本当にふさわしいのは私なんだ
I'm
も
the
の
only one worthy of him.
違うよシルビオはクロエじゃなくてあの人を選んだんだよ
No, Silvio didn't choose you, Chloe. He chose
リ
her.
タンまで何を言っているの
What are you saying, Rattan?
シルビオは私のものよそう決まっているのだって星が
Silvio is mine. The stars foretold that I'm to be bound to
で
him.
もクロエ僕たちきっともうファルツォーネにはいられないよ
But Chloe, now we can't be with the Falzone family anymore. Huh?
さっき話してるのが聞こえた
I heard them
この
talking.
屋敷にクロエと僕がいるのは良くないことなんだって
They said it won't be good to have us stay in the manor.
ここから離れた方がクロエのため
I think we should leave here before you...
嘘嘘よそん
No, you're lying to
なのリ
me.
トンなんて嫌い出て行って
I hate you, Rattan. Get out of here.
クロエ
Chloe! Dun 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 dun. I heard the adults
あ
talking.
の子が見つかった。町外れの崖の下で。
We found her in the sea under the cliff.
海を見に行って足を滑らせたのか？
She fell into the sea. She didn't commit.
気立てのいい子だと思ってたんだが、どうしてあんなことに？
I thought she was a nice girl. What happened to her?
普通の女の子がマフィアに関わったのが間違いだったって
Maybe it
か。
all went wrong when she got mixed with the mafia.
いや、そもそもこの町に来たことが
Nah, I think
彼女
coming
に
here
とっ
was
ちゃ
wrong
間違
in
い
the
だったん
first
だろう。
place.
クロエ
Chloe.
どうして
Why, Chloe?
銃で撃ち殺されたんでしょ眉間を一発粛清だって言って
She got shot right between the eyes. Probably a punishment.
おい。で、邪魔になったんだろうな。死因はナイフで一突き。だとよ。
You heard that? Guess she got in everyone's way. A single stab did her in. The poor
夕
thing.
食にこっそり毒を持って死体は崖から捨てたんだろうって
The gardener said that they
話
must
していた
have
わ
poisoned her and tossed her body in the cliff. Ooh.
シルビオってとっても素敵な人だったわ。
Silvio is such a
こ
wonderful
こは素敵
person.
な場所ね。みんな優しくて温かいわ。
It's such a lovely place.
これからがとっても楽し
Everyone's
み。
so kind and helpful. It'll be so much fun.
痛くないわけないでしょう。
Of course it
街
hurts
並
like
みは
the
綺麗で
swelling.
住む人も優しく
I like Berlin. I started realizing those were flashbacks. Oh. I awoke from a bad dream. Sweat clung to my entire body. My head felt like it was splitting.
彼女
Jeez, my heart was pounding. I grabbed hold of my chest. I knew I shouldn't be doing this. I knew very well I shouldn't, but my legs were leading me there. Night fell and the people of the town were in their homes and bed. As usual, I headed down to the church to lock the doors. Just when I was about to close them, I noticed a shadow moving behind the church. Is someone going to the graveyards? I have no memory of having any nightmares, so I wonder if people really wake up gasping like that. I have awoken to like my heart racing. I don't know. I don't usually have nightmares though. I must be seeing things. All right, bye guys. Could it be? Before I knew it, I ran after the shadow. It's in the graveyard. It's not like we're running outside to the street. Henri! I called out to the shadows. I called out the shadow's name. He looked at me gently as if he was relieved to see me. I took a deep breath before speaking. Did you come tonight to pay your respects?
答えてほしい
I want your honest answer. He replied with a sudden request. Huh?
私の思考は堂々巡りを続けるばかりだ答えを見つけても
My mind is
すぐにまた
constantly
見失
spinning
う
with answers that keep fading
ど
away.
うか相談に乗ってくれないか
I hope you can help me for a moment. I nodded at his request as I looked into his eyes, bearing a faint light within them. What is it you need? I had no idea why, but something didn't feel right. Henri looked like he was suffering badly
これ
tonight.
はただの例え話だけれど
This is a simple hypothesis.
傷つけられた者が傷つけた者に報復するそれは許されることだと思うかい
If someone who was injured retaliated against the perpetrator, could that be forgiven? Revenge. I was flustered by his unexpected question, Henri continued.
傷つけられたことは紛れもない事実だ彼はその悲劇を忘れたことがない
The person was hurt and couldn't get rid of the pain and sorrow within him.
胸に刺さったトゲの痛みに苛まれる過去は消えず彼を苦しめ続ける
The pain stuck in his heart like a thorn. It brought pain and eternal suffering.
彼が救われるためには復讐を遂げる
Dang,
しか
he's
な
my
いのでは
type
ない
pretty.
か
I was like, he's my type unhinged. In order for that person to be saved, vengeance was the only means available.
過去を断ち切り解放されるためには全てを破壊するしかないだろ
Just saying, like, it's like, oh yeah, sure, all right. He's got his manifesto here. We're listening. Hot. I don't know what's wrong. To break away from the past and to truly be free, all had to be
う
destroyed.
そうおそらくは自分自身さ
Even the person himself.
えもしこの復讐劇に巻き込まれたとしたら君はどうする
If you were dragged into
何を
this
望む
situation, what would you do? What would you desire? I'd probably stop him. He frowned hearing my honest opinion.
神の名のもとに贖罪を求めるかい
I've
しか
caught
し
myself liking yandere's crazy love interest lately. Listen, it's not a problem when it's fictional. It's just real life that it becomes a problem. Would you demand his atonement to God even though no one could stop him? No one? You mean even the person himself? Henri didn't answer my
君
question.
に復讐したいわけではない君はあくまで状況を握る鍵だ
He doesn't seek vengeance against you, you simply hold the key to what's happening. His words weren't hypothetical at all. This is about himself.
君を傷つけたいわけではない。
He doesn't want to hurt you. Henri let out a deep
復
sigh.
讐は愚かな行いだ。知っているとも。
He understands that vengeance is futile.
しかし、彼はそのために手を汚した。さまざまな罪を犯した。
But he dirtied his
後
hands
戻
to
りは
seek
できない。
vengeance. He can't atone for the sins he
た
committed.
とえ自分を突き動かしているものが憎しみなのかさえわからなくなっても。
Even if he lost sight of why he was seeking vengeance, whether or not it was from his hatred. He spoke bitterly. And this is when she goes, Ratan, is that you? He asked me his question again and a weak smile on his face.
君はどうする？哀れな彼を許せるかい？
Could you forgive this poor soul? I replied, I mean, she's all for God, right? I can't decide. It's not my place to determine if he can be forgiven or not. If what he's doing is seen as a sin by the whole world, then
そうとも。世界は彼を責めるだろう。
yes, the world would seek punishment. I couldn't get myself to say that. I could forgive him.
君が悲しむ必要はないよ。
Don't let it bother you.
君は正しい。私の答えも同じだ。彼は永遠に許されることがない。
You're in the right. My answer's the same. He should never be forgiven no matter what. Henri.
彼女を救うこともできない。できるのは、この悲劇を終わらせることだけ。
He can't even save her soul. The only thing he can do is end the tragedy. Is he gonna strangle me right now? His smiled gently at me, but his eyes were devoid of light. The desire in his eyes were looking at someone beyond me. Despair in his eyes were looking at someone beyond me. And without another word, Henry quietly left. It looked like his silhouette disappeared into the... I wasn't done reading! He slowed down as he approached me. It looked like he was trying to pass by me without acknowledging my
どう
presence.
して声をかけてくれないの？
I started to sneeze. I was like, I gotta mute. Is there a reason you aren't talking to me?
挨拶が必要なのかい？
Thank you. Do I need to talk to you?
夜道でマフィアに会ったら目を伏せて足早に通り過ぎるっていうのは立派な処世術かもしれない。
I understand that keeping to yourself and not interfering with the mafia is a good call for the public.
だけど僕が言いたいのはもちろんそういうことじゃなくて、
Then again, you know very well that's not what I'm getting at.
この町に戻ってきたのなら一言声をかけてくれてもいいんじゃないかってこと。
If you returned to town, you could have at least said hello.
それとも僕のことなんてすっかり忘れてしまった？昔はよく遊んでくれたのに。
This is the conversation Nicola was talking about. I get it now. Or did you forget who I was? We played together a lot, you know.
さあ、何のことを言っているのか。
I have no idea what you're talking about.
久しぶりの再会なのに釣れないね。僕も幼かったからしばらく忘れていたけど、もう思い出した。
Why the cold shoulder? I may have been a kid back then, but I still remember you well.
元気そうだね、リートン。
Great to see you again, Ratan. Ahaha, haha. Haha, I pieced it together on my own. LOL. I smiled at him, and in return, he looked at me quietly with soulless eyes. I looked on as his silhouette disappeared into the depths of the night. Oh, I'm so mad. There's only one more choice after this in chapter 8, and that's the one I already made in chapter 8. How was I that close? How was I that close? No. It also like burns all the way down. It's like I need to drink water right afterwards. Fine. I have an illness, please. Are we gonna die here? Okay. We're back to where we were to begin with. Woohoo! Wait, does this have the same name as the same chapter? No, it has the same name. Okay. Niccolo used his regained freedom and cut the rope from my arms and legs. Thank you. I bowed my head in thanks as he smiled and pulled me up to my feet. We began searching the goods that were piled inside the room.
なるほど。これ使えなくもないな。本当に着火するとまずいけど。
This could prove handy, a bit risky if ignited, but... Nicola looked at me and quietly led me to the door. He slid his knife along the door's edge and suddenly... I heard a small click. I'm still picturing the babiest of knives. The door opened. He extended his arms towards me quietly.
怖いだろうけど、ちゃんと守るから。
I know it's scary, but I'll protect you. Thank you. I nodded and took his hand. Just as Nicole believed in me, Nicola, I believe in you. Nicola smiled gently and he quietly and carefully opened the door. When they described it, it's like it's hidden in my belt. Like, your belt's not that big. So, like, how big could this knife be? The door opened into a factory space. We checked to make sure no one was around before stepping out of the room. Nicholas quietly closed the door. I could hate a sound worse than this. There was a lot of machinery around the area that we could hide behind for cover. Nicola led me to a shadow on a large machine nearby. We looked around the corner and saw a number of people working with the machinery. Around the exit were the men in black suits. Some of them are gone. Maybe some of them left to get in contact with him. I noticed Nicola looking down and I followed his gaze to see what he was looking at. Below us were sheets of paper that looked misprinted. Isn't this... It was the brand new paper with a $10 printed on the side. There were La Gazette newspapers printed strewn across the ground too. Nicola picked up a $10 sheet and folded it into his pocket. He then picked up another and folded it, this time handing it to me. I nodded silently and took it from his hand. Nicola took a lighter from his pocket. We whispered to each other amidst the noise. You sure have a lot of things on you.
最初から捕らえてもらうつもりだったしね。と言っても、ライターを見逃してくれるほど甘いとは思っていなか
I
ったけ
didn't
ど。
expect them to capture me, you know. Then again, I didn't expect them to move my lighter or your hat. Remarking on our luck, Nicola lit a wad of paper on fire. He then tossed it in front of the room where we were held captive. The fire quickly burned and began to consume the paper on the ground. At this rate, the fire would probably climb up the wall, but none of the workers seemed to notice, probably due to the noise from the machinery. Nicola pulled me behind another machine. I think he wanted to head towards the door guarded by the men in black suits. Then suddenly... a fire! One of the workers finally noticed. What the hell? Get some water! One of the men in suits yelled in panic at the workers. The fire was still fairly small. Even without water, they could still extinguish it. I observed the unusual scene as Nicola pulled my hand and we escaped the factory. We took a deep breath of fresh air. It felt like it had been ages since I had a chance to smell the air outside.
森の中に逃げ込んでしまえば、彼らも僕たちを見つけられない。
They won't be able to find us if we run into the
月が
forest.
見えているし、街の方角は大体わかる。
How does my...
夜のうちにあるかまでたどり着けるよ。
Wow, vibrant. The moon is out, so I know where we're headed. We should be back in Arca tonight. But aren't there wolves in the forest? Nicholas smiled.
それこそ身を挺してでも狼から君を守るよ。
Don't you worry, I'll protect you no matter what. I frowned a bit. But not with your life. We need to get back safely together. And I'm going to have Dante scold you. You didn't tell him about this, did you? Nicola blinked a couple of times before a smile appeared on his
お見
face.
通しか。怒るだろうな、ダンテ。
Good read. Dante's gonna be mad. Hee hee. Nicola pulled my hand as we went into the forest. Even at this distance, I could have finished the sentence. I returned from the casino only to be greeted by a reporter that Nicola was missing. Greeted by a reporter that Nicola was missing. Oh, okay. It wasn't unusual for him to act on his own, but not knowing where he was the night before we planned to strike was concerning. I looked at the clock to check the time. I stood up. As the time had come, I pushed the anxiety I felt to the side. We gathered at the church at nightfall. Tonight we would reconfirm our plans to attack tomorrow. Yang looked around the church.
あの女はどこだ?
Where's the woman? That's right, Yang. Where am I? Oh, he thought about me. Lily usually came down to greet us inside the church. Orlok led us inside tonight, not her. Orlok didn't look well. He began to speak in a heavy tone. He's so distraught about this pretend date.
今日の午後、ニコラが彼女を連れ出した。
Nicola took her out this afternoon.
まだ戻らない。
They haven't returned yet. Dante be mad. Dante be mad. Something was dearly wrong. Direly? Direly, that sounds right. Before I could say a thing, the door to the church opened. We're back! Even at this distance, I could hear the men yelling to put out the fire. Chapter 9. We're at chapter 9. Did it. Dorimire. Did I spell that right? Oh my gosh. The problem is I can only probably realistically play like 30 more minutes before I need to go. A smart person would stop here. But I'll push it. I'll push my luck a little bit more. I'm sorry I'm late. We found the factory printing the counterfeits. Everyone froze at my words as I ran inside.
すぐ襲撃の手はずを整えよう。向こうも僕たちの存在には気づいている。
We're greedy. We'd be further along if I didn't have so. Shut up, Nicola. Have so much stuff I had to replay just to get to this part. They know we're going to hit. Let's strike before they have a chance to cover their tracks. Yang was the first to respond to Nicola walking into the church.
明日、いや、日付の上では今日か。カジノに仕掛ける予定は変えられん。
Tomorrow, no. I suppose it's too late. We can't change our plans to strike now.
俺たちは動かず、部下を向かわせるべきだ。それなりに使える奴をえりすぐって、な。
If anything, we should send the best of our men down instead of us.
工場を襲うのはいい。俺も必要だと思う。
I agree we should strike their factory now.
けど、ニコラ、何があったのかまず説明して。
Nicola, tell us what happened. Wait, your ribs are broken. Huh? You can tell?
わかる。かばってるから。動きが不自然。
He's covering himself awkwardly. Nicola! I looked at Nicola's face again. Nicola knew how badly he was hurt. He was smiling, but he looked like he was in pain. Dante wasn't saying anything, but I could tell he wasn't happy. Well, that's so bad.
ニコラ、お前というやつは何をやっている?
Nicola, what are you doing? You put her life at risk, didn't you? Nicola and I explained in full detail what happened. I had never seen Dante so angry before.
まあまあ落ち着いて。君はカポなんだし、どんな時も冷静でいなくちゃ。
Now, calm down. You're our boss. You have to stay calm at all times.
前にも言ったよね。 僕は君の右腕だから、君が動けないときは僕が動くって。
I think I've said this before, but I'm your right hand man. I'll move when you can't.
分かっている。だからといってこれが怒らずにいられると思うか。
I know that. Even so, you expect me to not be angry with what you've done? He's like, Nicola glanced at the others in the hope that someone would intervene. Gil shrugged and Orlok was glaring at Nicola intensely.
俺がダンテでも怒るぜ。
I'd be angry too, you know?
俺も怒りたい。ものすごく心配した。ニコラを信じたのがダメだった。
I want to be angry too. I was worried sick. I shouldn't have trusted you, Nicola. Yang was chuckling at Nicola's expression.
フランチェスカは自分の命を随分と安く見積もっているようだな。
I never thought you'd be so cavalier about your own life, Francesca.
お前はファルツォーネの要だろうに。そう簡単に死なれては組織が瓦解する。
You're the core of the Feltzone. If something happened, your family would have collapsed.
君が僕をそんなに買ってくれていたなんてね。でも、うちのファミリーはそんなに脆くないよ。
I didn't know you thought so highly of us, but our family isn't that weak.
脆いって言ってるわけじゃねえよ。ただ、お前の代わりをできるやつなんて他にいねえだろってだけだ。
Yang looks so sinful. I agree. He isn't saying your family is weak. He's simply saying that there's no one else who can replace you. I'm really sorry, Dante. Everyone, I caused you a lot of trouble. I knew the risk, but I still went along with Nicola. I should have asked everyone first, or even had Orlok come with us. Sorry, I didn't consider the options. Yang gave a sigh.
同行者の数が増えれば、敵が襲撃を控える可能性も上がる。
The chances of being attacked would have minimized with a greater head count.
オルロックが事情を知った上で十分な芝居を打てるかというと、それも期待薄だろう。
I doubt Orlok would have been able to have the ability to behave himself knowing what the outcome would be. Orlok didn't look pleased, but he didn't refute Gang's words.
とにかく、ニコラはまず医者。折れた骨が変なとこに刺さったら死ぬ。
In any case, Nicola has to see a doctor. If his ribs cave in, it could lead to death.
リリーも今夜はゆっくり眠ってくれ。作戦会議は俺たちに任せてな。
Lily, you sleep it off tonight. We'll take care of the rest.
それでいいだろ、ダンテ。
Sound good, Dante? Dante looked at me.
リリー、
Lily,
明日、俺たちと一緒にカジノへ来てほしい。
I want you to come with us to the casino. Are you sure? Aren't I going to be a burden to
お
everyone?
前は俺たちにとって重要な協力者だ。すでに鍵の乙女という肩書きだけの存在じゃない。
You're not just the key maiden now, you're an important contributor.
ブルローネの裏側で何が動いていたのか。そ
What
して
happens in the shadows
それ
of
がどういう
Berlone
決
and
着を
how it
迎え
all
るのか。
ends.
お前には見届ける権利がある。
You have the right to see what happens. I was a bit hesitant at Dante's offer. I took a look around at everyone.
俺もダンテに賛成だ。教会に残してくより、目の届く範囲にいてくれた方が安心だしな。
I agree with Dante. It's safer to have you come with us than to leave you here.
あなたは知ってはいけないことを知った。だから、いつ狙われてもおかしくない。
You already know what you shouldn't, so it's not out of the question that you're our target.
たとえどこにいても、あなたのことは俺が守る。
I'll still protect you no matter where you are or what happens. That won't change.
僕はそもそも君を巻き込んだ側だから、口を出す権利はないかな。任せるよ。
Making sure. Let's check to make sure I didn't have any Discord messages. Every once in a while, I get a message and it's like, hey, this thing, not happening. And I go, oh, okay. Oh no, we are good. Okay, great. All right, I got 20-ish minutes. I'm gonna stretch. I don't have the right to say anything to you now, so I'll leave it to your judgment.
好きにしろ。
It's your choice. Whoa, look at that. I listened to everyone and let it settle in. Please take me with you. I want to see what happens. They all nodded and returned my words with a faint smile. Even Yang! Oh my gosh. This is not accurate to height, by the way. Yang is tallest. He should be taller than that. Nicola was taken to the hospital by the Feltzone soldiers. The bosses of each family remained to continue discussing their strategy. Orlok took me back to my room where I collapsed onto my bed. Soon after, our slumber settled in and my eyes closed without effort. I turned in bed and woke up unexpectedly. Being that I went to sleep late, I saw the time on the clock and pointed to the noon hour. I tried to recall what Orlok told me.
シスターソフィアに大体の事情を伝えておく。明日は夜まで部屋で休んでて。
I'll let Sister Sophia know what's going on. You stay in your room and rest until night. Not being up and active during the day was an odd feeling. Unfortunately, I wasn't as tired as I thought. Maybe it was because of the anticipation. Nicola didn't tell everyone that he remembered who Rattan was. I suppose he didn't want memories of feelings to get in everyone's way. A certain figure appeared in my mind as I thought about tonight. I mumbled his name. Oh, Henri. Was he suffering? He was suffering. I knew that very clear. But that was why I needed to stop him. I can't have him go through any more suffering. I clasped my hands together tightly to pray. The plan would begin at first phase soon. A while before the bosses attacked, members from each family came together to
ある
prepare.
程度柔軟な対応ができそうなやつや必要な技能を持ったやつを選んだってカポは言ってた。
Boss said that everyone chose those who were talented and had special skills. I'd better do my best to make sure the boss won't regret choosing me for this mission.
うちの偵察が戻った。俺たちの予想に反し、工場は今も稼働している。
A reconnaissance team is back. It seems that the factory is still running. It looked like we needed to change our plans already. We looked at each other and
甲
nodded.
府が20ほど。銃を携帯した黒服が4、5人。
There are 20 workers in a few black suits.
私は暴力が範疇外でな。念のために聞くが、一人も逃さず捕らえることは可能か？
I'm not skilled in combat, so I want to reconfirm. Are you sure we can detain all of them?
怪我させてもいい？だったらできるよ。
If we can hurt them, yes.
ファルツォーネとビスコンティで甲府を逃がさないように立ち回ります。残りは
The Falzone and the Visconti will make sure that none of the workers escape. The remaining,
いいだろう。黒服はラオシュウが受け負う。
the Laoshi will handle the black
フェイ、
suits.
ナン、一人は必ず生かしておけ。
Faye, Lon, let at least one of them live.
怪我させてもいいんでしょ？なら大丈夫。
Okay, but we can hurt him, right?
大丈夫。
Sure thing.
よし。一人は怪我もさせずに捕らえろ。
Good, but don't hurt that one person.
めんどくさい。
Aw, what a pain.
ラオシュウっていつもこんな感じなのか？
Is the Laoshu always like this? I felt like I was being tense for nothing hearing their conversation. I took a deep breath to calm myself as I proceeded to draw my gun. The Laoshu twins were stronger than I thought. Most of the workers were unharmed as we stopped them from escaping. The black suits, I think one is still alive. As Lee continued yelling at the twins, Oliver and I located the principal plate.
これで大方の目的は果たしたな。
This should do it.
ギルバートたちも後顧の憂いなくカジノに攻め込める。
Gilbert and the others can storm the casino without any worry. He didn't look so good though.
こいつらなんで今の今までのんきに偽札吸ってたんでしょうね。
Why were they still printing the bills at times like this?
ニコラと彼女が逃げ出した以上、
Nicola and the girl escaped
工
from
場の位
here,
置が知られてしまったことにディレットーレは当然気づいたはずだ。
so the directory should have known we would hit this
だ
place.
が 撤収準備をしていた気配さえない。
But there was no noticeable signs of resistance.
おい、
Hey, Lee called us from behind. He must have gotten the twins
さ
away.
っき黒服の一人が口走ったんだが、
We got one of them to
ここ
spill.
は襲われないとディレットーリに吹き込まれたようだな。
Seems they were told this place wouldn't be hit. I know, right? Look at these undateable characters.
襲われないはずないじゃないですか。
That doesn't make sense at all.
襲撃されることが分かっていながら部下にとどまらせたのか。
So he let them stay here knowing we would attack.
俺たちに始末させるためにか？
Maybe it's to let us get rid of them.
終わらせるつもりなのか。
He's planning to end everything. No one was able to answer Oliver's quiet yet eerie question.
ようこそおいでくださいました皆様。
Welcome, everyone. We came to the casino under the guise of having our meeting here. The casino's directory greeted us with his usual overly formal gesture.
時間通りに全員お揃いとは稀有なこともあるもの、私感服いたしました。
I'm very pleased to see you all at the same time. How rare indeed.
シニョリーナもようこそ。
And welcome, Senorina. He smiled gently at me. I could tell he would say no more to me. I greeted him with silence. I understood very well that I couldn't talk to him now despite knowing who he was. Dante looked at the directory with his clear azure eyes.
ディレットーレ、いや、リートン、証拠は抑えた。
Directory? No, Rutan, we have proof.
ファルツォーネのアンダーボスと市民等を誘拐して監禁。ついでに殺人未遂か。
You abducted the Falzone's underboss and a civilian and attempted to murder them.
今頃は偽札を吸っていた工場もこちらの手に落ちているだろう。
Your factory producing the counterfeit should be under our control by now.
この国の法に照らし合わせても、しばらく牢屋で暮らすには十分な罪状だ。
You've committed enough crimes to be put behind bars. The directory's laughter came out as if he had been holding it in all along.
証拠ですか？私を公的な場で裁くことを望まれますか？
Proof. So you wish to have me punished under this country's judicial system?
いえいえ、それは不可能です。イタリア王国政府は私を決して証言台に立たせないでしょう。
No, no, but that's impossible. The Kingdom of Italy will not allow me to stand in front of a court.
政府役人による他国紙幣の贋造など実に恥ずべきこと。
The scandal of a government officer dabbling in counterfeiting can't be made public.
公にすればこの国は国際社会からつまはじきにあってしまいます。
Doing so would only place the country under international scrutiny. The directory calmly responded to Dante's accusations.
わかっている。俺たちは国の司法などに頼りはしない。
I'm aware we will not be reliant on this country's system.
ブルローネはマフィアの町だ。俺たちブルローネマフィアがお前を裁く。
Berlone is ruled by the mafia. We're the ones who'll judge you.
では。
Well then. The directory gracefully bowed his head and spoke in a polite
つ
manner.
いにご理解いただけたのでしょうか。皆様が何故こうして追い込まれる運びとなったのか。
Do you finally understand why you were all involved in the events that led you to the situation?
前にお前自身が言ってただろう。これは復讐劇だ。
You said it yourself before. Revenge.
ご明察の通りです。
Why, yes, that is absolutely correct. The directory smiles disappeared. His polite mannerism slowly faded into a cold and bitter voice.
私の姉は君たちに殺された。ファルツォーネに、ブルローネに救うマフィアという悪辣に。
You killed my sister, the Falzoni and the mafia that nest in Berlone.
鍵の乙女などという前時代的な慣習に私たちの父母は殺され、
My
姉もま
parents
た死んだ。
were killed by that idiotic key maiden fantasy as well.
シルビオの諫言に惑わされ、彼を信じ、彼に裏切られ、
She was swayed by
そして殺
Silvio's
され
sweet
た。
words, then later betrayed, leading to her death. That's not true. I intervened with a loud voice. Chloe wasn't killed by the
い
Falzone.
や、クロエは確かに殺された。
No, Chloe was killed by them. The directory coldly refuted my attempt to
彼
explain.
女はマフィアなどという存在に殺された。闇の世界になど無縁だったはずの彼女が
She was killed by the mafia in a world she should never have entered.
無ごたらしく銃でナイフで毒で殺された。
A world rife with guns, knives, poison. Dante, Gil, and everyone else frowned hearing his words. Chloe didn't fall from a cliff. The directory should know that himself. Oh, died falling from a cliff. He continued as if we weren't standing in front of him.
そもそもファルツォーネの血など今に伝えられていなければ。
If you're gonna try and play it off that she just fell from rocks, but she wouldn't have killed herself because she's such a devout Christian or whatever religion they want to be, then also I need better. I need better than that. I need better than she fell from rocks. If this ridiculous Falzone blood and lore of this relic didn't
鍵
exist,
の乙女などという使命がなければ、彼女はクロエは死なずに済んだはずだ。
if there was no key maiden, then Chloe wouldn't have died.
私はファルツォーネを許さない。罪を犯し、人を傷つけ、金を集める者。マフィアなどという生き様を憎悪する。
I will not forgive the Falzone, criminals who sin in the name of violence and profit. I detest the very existence of the mafia.
私はマフィアが、そしてそれを享受するこの町が大嫌いだ。
I detest the mafia and this very town for accepting them. I clenched my fist tight. No one was saying a word. The directory was speaking quietly, but his words were filled with hatred.
君たちは知らなければならない。己は恨まれ、憎まれて当然の存在なのだと。
You all need to learn how despicable and unwelcome you are.
尊敬され、愛される犯罪組織などありはしないのだと。
There is no such thing as a criminal who is respected and loved by the people.
いかに名誉ある男などと嘘吹いてみせようと、君たちは所詮犯罪者。後ろ盾を失えば、
No matter how honorable you say you are, you will always be criminals. You will be tried by the law and expelled from this place. The directory took a deep breath. He looked strangely tired.
私が失敗しても、
Nothing will
それ
change,
は変わらない。
even if I fail.
君たちは様々な恨みを買いすぎている。この国はマフィアを排斥すると決めた。
You've all tested the limit of this country and they have decided to eliminate you.
君たちはマフィアは遠からず滅ぶ。それが今日ではないというだけだ。
Soon all the mafia families will go extinct. It's only a matter of when. Yang looked at the directory with cold eyes, seemingly
長
uninterested.
い演説だったな。
That was a long speech. Yang then gave an eerie smile and looked at
お
Dante.
前はどうするファルツォーネ。復讐に駆られた愚かな男を見逃してやるか？
What's your call, Falzone? Will you let this poor foolish soul escape?
今ここで俺たちが手を下さずとも国がこの男を罰するだろう。
I can see this country bringing him down without any further effort from us.
公に証言台に立たせられないとはいえ、内々に処理ができんわけがないからな。ここで殺さずともどうせ殺される。
It wouldn't be difficult to dispose of him without the shadows. He will die. It's only a matter of when. Dante looked at Gil. Gil nodded calmly at Dante as he began to speak.
ダンテに任せる。ファルツォーネを。鍵の乙女の因縁を背負うのはお前だ。
I'll leave it to you, Dante. You're the one tied to the Key Maiden. Nicola hadn't said a word ever since we arrived at the casino. Warlock was standing next to me and waiting for Dante's call. Dante took a breath. He pointed his gun at the directory, and we're gonna pause here because I need to go. Seems like a good spot. I think it's a good spot. And we'll finish tonight when I get back. Yay! Oh my goodness. We only have one CG, by the way. So I'm so confused what's the next CG gonna be because, like, we need more. Yes, thank you, Blue, thank you for being here, thank you, Ninja, thank you, Laurel, thank you, Ribbon, and I feel like I had one other person chatting earlier, but I don't recall, and I can't find it because I'm lazy. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching this on YouTube, I stream about 3 times a week. You can catch me on Twitch if you want to see me live. We're going to be planning the Choose Wisely Festival shortly is going to be starting, so we're going to have some fun games that we're going to be playing, and I will be back tonight to finish Piofiore, and there's going to be a poll on the Discord later for us to decide what our next game is going to be for December. All right, guys, I'll see you soon.